Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 I'm trying not to speak so loud because I'm trying to be creepy. I'm playing, guys. Testicles 1, 2. Testicles. Welcome back to Paranormal Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Trebles Garcia, the humble host of this amazing adventure. I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Ladies and gentlemen, please remind yourselves that word of mouth is the most important thing that you could do for the show. Word of mouth. Tell the world about the show. Not because I want to blow up, because I want people to understand I do this for free. I spend more time and more money than what I'm making. So God knows I do this out of my heart. Now, also check us out at paranoidradio.com, paranoidradio.com. Cuff up some of the t-shirts. Check us out on Rumble. We're dropping free episodes, unedited, unbothered, every single night, the entire year. So I have a year worth of episodes that I haven't dropped anywhere else, and now you get to watch them nightly. This is like a huge, massive series that's never going to end. Now, I also want you to remind yourself to check us out and drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. All right. Now, please allow me to introduce my next special guest. She's been here before. Dude, and the reason I resonate with her is because we have something in common. We both have relationships with Alps. Well, she has a relationship with Alps. I just seen one. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Born Awake Oracle, Vicky from Born Awake Oracle page on Instagram. Hey, Vicky, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you so much for having me back again.
Yeah, this is the third time. And I was holding you hostage. Well, the idea of having you on hostage because it's October. Oh, yeah. And if anybody's going to kick off the Fright Fest for us here at Paranormal Radio Podcast, our 4th annual, it's going to be Vicky from Born Away Oracle because she has lived many lives. She has many stories to tell. And quite frankly, I resonate with her. Vicky, first of all, how are you? And where could people find you?
I am good. Thank you so much. And you can find me on Instagram at Born Awake Oracle. And you can find me on Clapper at Born Awake Oracle.
That's right. Make sure you check her out, ladies and gentlemen. And she's also on the drop-down menu of paranormalradio.com. Guys, we are in for a ride. She's going to bring us a couple stories of her own experiences where she had to negotiate freedom of life with these entities. Vicky, I don't want to take no more time from you. You said you seen a ghost in your car in front of your headlights. And I know it sounds cheesy, but please give us the details.
Well, it wasn't in front of my headlights.
Okay.
I'm going to go into this is when my son was a little guy, and my dad has a property down at the beach, and I worked for Adult and Family Services, and they needed somebody to fill in because they were desperate for a fill-in down there because they had a huge meeting thing going on. So when I got off of work, it was during like this time of year, fall, I got off work about 7:00 and I had to drive down to Tillamook. Well, there's this one corner where it says you take it at 5 miles an hour because if you don't, you're going off the cliff at 300-foot drop down. Okay. Whoa. And they mean 5 miles per hour. Okay. And there's been several wrecks there. Well, it's about, I think it's about 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I got in late and everything, but it was 7, let's see. Yeah, it was about 9:30 when I hit this curve. And all of a sudden my headlights went out.
Oh, snap.
It was black. It was black. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I can't go over to the side of the road. There's nobody behind me. There's nobody coming at me or anything. And I was just praying and praying and praying and praying. And I got this sense of this presence sitting in the back of my car, and they were laughing.
Are you going uphill or downhill?
No, I'm going around a bend, a sharp bend. It's a winding road up through the mountains and stuff.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you come down on the other side and you wind some more, and then you go into Tillamook. It's about 2 hours away and everything.
That's going to be the thumbnail right there. That's going to be the thumbnail right there. Car traveling mist in the side of the mountains, winding road. Oh, I can see it now, man. Oh, yeah. Snap.
All
And
right.
so my headlights go out and I'm like, I slow down. I mean, I slow down like maybe 2 miles per hour and I'm praying nobody's coming up behind me. Didn't see anybody, but I just got this dark figure in the back of my car in the back seat. And I just got this laughing with, through my third eye and everything. And I was like, okay, it's trying to kill me. It's trying to kill me. And I just started praying. I just started praying. All of a sudden, this car came up on my rear ends, and it was like going 55. Okay, and they just
Yeah.
passed that corner. That they call it Deadman's Corner because a lot of
Mhm.
people died there. Okay,
Holy
and it
fuck.
came up right behind me, and I had my flashers on, and they saw that I had no headlights, and I turned my flashers on, and that's the weird thing is my flashers worked, my brake lights didn't work, but my headlights didn't work. Okay. But
Oh
I had
yeah.
my flashers going and
Mm-hmm.
those worked. So they slowed down and they turned their headlights on high, thank God. So I
Mm-hmm.
could see the road so I could get pulled over. And as
Mm-hmm.
soon as I got pulled over, my headlights came back on. And I knew exactly what was going on. Okay. So I was really shaken up about it and everything. Get into Tillamook. My dad's already down there because, like I said, he's got a vacation place down there and
Yeah.
stuff. And I go in there and he's like, "What's got you all worked up?" And I said, "My headlights went out over on Dead Man's Curve." And he goes, "Well, thank God you weren't speeding." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I wouldn't speed on that corner anyway." And
Mm-hmm.
so he goes, "Well, maybe it's the carriage to the battery. Maybe it's loose or the cables are loose." And I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Dad, they're not loose. I checked out my car every time before I travel, everything." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He goes
Mm-hmm.
out there, nothing was loose. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's on a white Ford Taurus that I had. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm heading to Eastern Oregon. And then
Mm-hmm.
I ended up coming back that same night and everything. There is another corner that is more dangerous than the one up in the mountains. You'll go off into the Columbia River if you don't make that corner. You'll go straight off into the Columbia River. My son, he was
Mm-hmm.
about 4,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in the back seat in his car seat and everything. And we were driving along and stuff, and then all of a sudden it was foggy, and
Mm-hmm.
I had my low lights, excuse me, my headlights on low,
Uh-huh.
and all of a sudden my headlights go out, and I'm approaching this corner. Now you got to follow those lines because if you don't, it looks like you're supposed to go straight if you don't follow the lines, the white
Uh-huh.
solid lines, okay, and stuff. I'm telling you, I got like a foot away from going off into the Columbia River before I jerked it. My headlights went out. Totally different car. This was like 6 years later from the
Uh,
first time this
mm-hmm.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another dangerous corner. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I literally pulled over and I was praying to God, saying, "Thank you, dear God. Thank you, dear God." Because one of my friends actually lost their mother
Mm-hmm.
on that corner.
It was the same Dead Man's Corner?
No, this is a different one. This is a different one
Okay.
on the on 86 going east to
Mm-hmm.
Eastern Oregon. The
Mm-hmm.
other one was on 26 going towards the coast, going west towards the
Mm-hmm.
coast.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different times, totally different years, 6 years apart, 2 totally different cars. You see,
What was the name of the first road? 26?
yeah, Highway 26 going west to Tillamook, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was 86 going towards Pendleton, Oregon. Yeah.
I think my boss, he's a bike rider. He rides a
But it's
bike.
coming back. It's on your way back. That's the corner. That's the side that you're on the Columbia River side.
Okay.
And there's that
Uh-huh.
one corner you just come out of Hood River and you
Mm-hmm.
go a ways and then all of a sudden it bends really sharp.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I'm talking about. That it was foggy out and my headlights went out. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Nothing was wrong with the battery cables or the battery carrier or anything in the car either.
I
And
think
that
we've encountered, there's a lot of people that have encountered, in the same scenario when a setting is right, when the fog is in, when the frequency is perfectly aligned. There's people that have, and I think this is a manifestation of what you want to see as, and or what you're afraid of, and the dimension breaks through, and you can see Dogman and different entities cross a path, or you see people hitchhiking, And they're actually ghosts, dead ghosts that live in that area, that are settled in that area. That's a trip, bro. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's just whatever what it was is an entity in the back seat of my car.
Also, you don't think it
I
was only
saw
in
the
that area?
outline of the entity in the back seat of my car. It was trying to kill me. It's the same one that was at the other place that was trying to kill me.
Oh,
It's been
different
following me
car.
around
Huh.
since I was a little girl. Like it was an attachment that it was the same one that I've seen in my crib when I was a little girl and woke up screaming and I saw it over in the corner and I remember my grandmother coming in and then my mom rushed in and they checked my diaper, they checked my bottle was full, my diaper was dry and I was just screaming. My mom said, "Here, give her to me." And so yeah.
It's
This is
absolutely nuts. You mentioned also in the notes that you sent me, and this is a really weird one. I've never heard of this before. Trip out. I think this is, you know what it is? It's almost goosebumpish. You remember the Goosebump books? When I was a kid, I came up on the Goosebump books before it was all turned gay by Netflix, and Disney Plus, because Disney, and that was in Disney Plus, and you got gay people in there. I remember reading the books and never had anything about sexual orientation and shit. It was just scary stories, right? But this is
right.
a trippy as one. I think this would be a perfect story for a Goosebumps book for adults. Because the next interaction that you gave me on my notes was, again, in your words, a perverted ghost. Trip the fuck out, dude. And it sounds funny as fuck, guys, but you gotta give me the details, Vicky.
Okay. Not every spirit that's roaming or lost and stuff or crossed over and comes back, they still got their sass and they can still be the opposite of what they showed you. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
stuff. So anyway, this is the last place I lived at. And I kept seeing this figure walking past my shower curtain. And then it would stop and it would go. And every time it would come in the bathroom, the water temperature would change.
Ah,
And it would only do it when that thing came in in my bathroom. And I was talking to my friend Bonnie and I was telling her, I said, this is really weird. Every time I get in the shower, I see this shadow figure walking past, and I could see it because I had a white shower curtain. So it's like
yeah,
you can see it. Okay. I can see these things.
yeah.
So anyway, she's like, Vicky, she goes, I get it. It's a guy. And I'm like, yeah. And so anyway, it was like a week to 2 weeks later, and I get in the shower and the water temperature changed, and I'm like, effing knock it off. And the shower curtain moved and something climbed into the shower with me and grabbed me. And I was like,
Get
oh,
the
hell
fuck out,
no.
dude.
I got out of there and I almost fell and I grabbed the counter and I slid on the part where the door is out into the carpet. I didn't have a towel on. I didn't care. I was thinner then. I could move a little bit better than I can now. And everything. And it was, oh, hell no. I went in, I got the sage, I got the Paleo Santos, and I lit a white candle and I started praying. I'm like, get the F out of my house. And then all of a sudden I seen it come out of the shower and the bathroom, and it goes into the living room through the hallway and into the living room into my neighbor Arthur's apartment.
Ah,
And so I texted my friend Bonnie and I told her, I said, I told her what happened. And she's like, yeah, you got yourself a perverted, entity there. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I'm sitting there, and the next thing I know, it's sticking its head through the wall from Arthur's side of the wall, because I'm kicked back on my love seat and I'm talking to her on the phone. And all of a sudden I see this head come through the wall. And I'm like, it's looking at me right now. And then all of a
yeah.
sudden it walked through the sofa into the center of the living room. And she goes, it's afraid to go. It's afraid to go to the other side because it knows it's done wrong and everything. And so I had to sit there and tell it to, what happens on the other side, what Judgment Day is, because people have this idea of what Judgment Day is, and it's nothing what you guys think it is. So I had to sit there and talk to the spirit and cross it over and everything. And my friend Bonnie was on there with me as backup and stuff because she knew I was going through hell at this place.
Yeah.
And stuff. And so anyway, she helped me cross it over and everything. I put it on the speakerphone and put him at peace, and he went towards the light. And I said, you know what? I got this little girl. And I said, she looks like she's from the late 60s, early 70s. She's in a white dress with floral, like big hippie daisies on her shirt. On her, it wasn't the dress, excuse me. She's got long blonde hair. And I said, every time I open my front door, she's standing right there, or she'll come knock at my living room window, and she knocked. And she's like, well, she wants you to cross her over. And I'm like, you know what? I said, I'm tired. I said, I got this stuff going on 24/7, 7 days a week. I said, it doesn't matter where I go. I said, I'm tired. And so anyway, I opened the door and I told the spirit could come in and everything. And only that spirit shut the door. And she was standing over by the door. And I said, that's as far as you can come in. I said, I will work with you to help cross you over. And I did. And she said, thank you so much. She died in, what was it? Around late 1960s, early 70s. I didn't go into detail. Wow. I wanted her out, because it's creepy seeing a little girl standing in the middle of your grass every time you go in and out, or when you open your curtains or knocking on the window, and stuff. So anyway, she died about that time, and she was kidnapped and she was murdered in that neighborhood. And she was roaming around looking for her parents.
I'm touching two things right now. The first, the perverted ghost. I was in the beginning of this show. I think the first 40 episodes. Big Tank, my co-host, read this. We had this segment called "What Is Happening," and we would talk about what's happening around the world, but we wouldn't do mainstream media news. We would do scary stories, serial killers, etc. So Tank one day brought up a story of a of a woman, I think in the East Coast, that fell in love with her ghost and then married the ghost. So what you're saying connects. I mean, I'm not saying you went on and you married this ghost, but the lady, and then check this out. 100 episodes later, we found out he brought the story back up, and he said that she divorced the ghost.
I saw that. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. I saw that. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Everything, people need to understand everything is an attachment, from a conversation, from a touch, from every interaction you do with somebody. That's an attachment. So that's why it's very important to clear yourself of the day's energy and the thoughts of the day before you take and go to bed at night. So you can cut the cord so you don't have that part draining your energy. Okay. And so you just don't cut a cord and say, see ya, I'm done with you. I divorced you, spirit, It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I hear you. Some of them, do you think because you have a very thin veil, you have this gift that they know, so they look for you? Maybe this was on this lifetime, this was your mission. This is what you're here for. To see the lizard guy. To see the lizard guy that scratched up your fucking car, right? With his mouth and put, and all the way to the point where you're even crossing people, you're helping them cross and helping them finally rest up.
Yeah, it's even in my birth chart with the I can't remember what planet off the top of my head, but yeah, I'm to see the unseen, to see the unseen, hear the unknown, and go out and bring truth, speak truth. I'm a teacher, a shaman type,
Yeah, I hear you. That's crazy stuff, man.
In my birth chart, I was same thing in the past life. I was a healer. I was an African American woman, and one of my last past life that I remember 4 of them, but the last one that I remember clearly that I'm living in this time, I was an African American healer. I believe I told you that in one of the other.
I think it was on the second one you told me, and you told me that you met one of your past selves. You told me. You did mention to me that one of your past selves that you were in connection with them.
No, I met people from my past life.
And that's what you said. Yes.
Yeah, and in fact, one of my angels, I actually saved his life during that time. and stuff. So he chose to come back and be my angel, one of my main angels to help protect me and stuff. So yeah. I can also tell you about the time that I was held down in the bathtub.
What? Wait, what the fuck? Okay, explain to me what happened.
I got a ton of stuff I could tell you. I mean, it happened. There's so much stuff that's happened that I could sit here and I could write a book about it and it'd blow people's minds, you know.
What happened in that scenario? I'm intrigued to know. You already mentioned. You got to let me know.
Well, you know, I got 2 bad knees and everything, and I wanted to take a bath. And so I got it all prepped for a spiritual cleansing bath, and I got in there and I'm relaxing. And then all of a sudden, I was pushed down by my shoulders down into the water. But before that happened, I got really weak. It was like my life force was sucked out of my body. It was like I couldn't lift. I couldn't lift my hands. I couldn't lift my arms, my legs. It was like I mean, the only other time I had that happen was when I had a spirit walk through me from my dad's property and I dropped to the floor, not to the floor, to the ground. And I literally had to crawl on my knees, not my knee, my elbows, excuse me, and slither up to my front porch halfway in the door and stuff. And I passed out. Because they can do that. They can zap your body of energy. So anyway, here I am. I'm fighting and I'm praying and I'm praying and I'm praying. And I know what it is because I wasn't tired like that. And I could not get up. I was literally, flipping around like a freaking fish that's been caught on the end of a line, trying to get up over the edge of the bathtub. And
you're underwater at this point, right?
Yeah, from right here down this part. This part was up, but I mean, it was like I was being pushed and held down, and so I was kicking everything. There was water all over the bathroom floor, and all I could do was just pray. I just prayed and prayed and prayed, and I used what life force that was left in me to try to get out. And I mean, imagine being a 47-year-old grown woman and you're climbing out of the bathtub like a toddler's trying to take their first step over the edge of the bathtub.
Oh, so your balance was off. Your energy was thrown.
On your stomach. You're on your stomach and you're trying to lift your leg over, and you're getting your midsection caught on the bathtub edge and trying to bring your other leg over. You get over and you're laying on the bathroom floor in water and everything, and you can literally see the bruises already forming on your body.
Oh my God, dude.
And I literally had to drag myself across the carpet into the end of my bed. And I prayed to God that I was able to have enough strength to pull myself up. And that took me 2 weeks to recover because I was banged up pretty bad.
And that's not the only time you told me that they were attacking you. There was many times. I think this is what you were mentioning. I think on the first episode you mentioned this. Do you think that they're trying to avatar you? Use your essence, use your body, come through you?
Oh,
use your
when
body.
When I died August 8th in the kitchen at the last place I lived at in 2021, that's one reason why I believe I mentioned this in one of your second podcasts, I believe. I was pushed back in my body because they're called walk-ins.
You told me that. Yes, you did. That's why I got them.
See, they can possess your body whether you're in there or you're not. Okay, it's just seconds. Within seconds, and you got to understand something. In the spirit world, there is no time. There is no time. So what seems like 2 years to us is seconds over there. You see what I'm saying?
Word.
So that I was pushed back in my body so fast. I mean, it was like, and then I was, that took me 4 weeks to recover. And it's well documented with 4 different doctors, my lung doctor, my, my lung doctor, my apnea doctor, and my primary care at the time doctor. And then, my new doctor that she assigned me to. And so, yeah, it's been
I gotta ask you this. I have to ask this question. So when you were in the tub, did it feel almost like sleep paralysis, but awake? Is it almost the same thing, the same feeling? It wasn't?
No, it's literally you, like say you're sitting in that chair, but you're laid back and you got full connection to your body and everything. You know what you're doing. You're washing up with soap and everything. And something comes up. Let me move my cane here. Something comes up and literally holds you down into that chair, laying back. And you're totally aware that is something else there. And you're literally your energy is being sucked out of you. It's like they're literally draining you of your energy, and you can't lift your arm up to try to get out of the chair. You can't lift your legs, and it's like you're just like,
it's not full paralysis. Man. It's you're weak, and you're being at the same time exhausted, and you're getting drained. Muscles, everything is getting drained. Fatigue. Yeah. In immense speed.
Everything is heightened. Your body is just heightened. You know, your nerves are heightened to it. So it's like anything is painful. I mean, like I said, I was a fish flopping around. And I was just all bruised up. And so all I can compare it to is when you're a little toddler and it's the first time trying to step over the edge of the bathtub, and it might slip or whatever, that's all I could, but it's your midsection. It was your midsection and being 40 some odd years old, butt naked, flopping around.
That is freaking insane, dude.
I actually told my neighbor, Don the Bishop, about it. And because he saw all the bruises and stuff too. And he's like, what happened? And I told him, and he's like, man, he goes, I know you're not lying to me because you saw stuff coming through the wall at my place. And I told him, I said, you need to pray up and protect yourself, put protection around you, because he came home one time and he literally texted me, and he came home one time, he laid down on his sofa and dozed off from watching a movie. And he literally woke up and he said it was like bugs crawling all over him. He knew he was being attacked. And I said, yeah, that's that demon that came through the wall from Mike's place.
It's fucking insane, dude. World is a lot more interesting that you believe, guys. So you have to protect your energy, protect your aura, protect the only currency that's really current, your energy.
You can find me at Instagram, Born Awake Oracle, and you can find me on Clapper at Born Awake Oracle. I offer crystal readings, bone readings, charm reading, tarot reading, oracle reading, Toracle reading, which is a combination of tarot and oracle in one, mediumship, psychic mediumship, and also what you need to heal, what should be healing in your body, and what you need to let go of so you can live a happier and more joyful life. I do animal communications, energy clearing, and I used to do properties and things like that, but I'm not doing that right now. Not with the way my legs are and stuff like that. So
I hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check her out. Vicky from Born Awake Oracle on Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check her out. And do not forget to check us out at paranormalradio.com. She's also going to be on the drop-down menu of special guests and links. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. This allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Vicky, thank you.
Thank you for having me on again. I appreciate it.
Much love.
Much love to you too.
Paranoid Radio.